We're going to start off with another reading the sister has, that we have to read in every meeting. She's going to get that done.
It's on. Prophet warns all Muslims. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at the Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your cards for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are for love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet Noble Drew. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet therefore is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. Peace. Noble Drew. Islam.
And so we had a couple of things on the site for that we're going to talk about today. One is debt, and the other one is social duty. We have those to look at. When we speak of the word debt, we have to put it in some framework. You know, what are we speaking about when we use the word debt? There's a, I think everybody has it. We left those, anybody new coming in, they can get it. So we passed out a paper that has what debt is. And somewhere we got it. No.
I was joking.
We're gonna read the. If you look on the paper on the second half of it, about a quarter way down, it say fixed and certain obligation. Everybody see that? Can somebody read that? Go ahead, sister.
A fixed and certain obligation to pay money or some other valuable thing or things, either in the present or in the future. In a still more general sense, that which is due from one person to another, whether money, goods, or services. In a broad sense, any duty to respond to another in money, labor, or service. It may even mean a moral or honorary obligation, unenforceable by legal action. Also, sometimes is it aggregate?
Yeah.
Aggregate of separate debts, or the total sum of the existing claims against a person or company. Thus, we speak of the national debt, the bonded debt of a corporation, etc.
Yeah. So, now, and that's just a little bit. We're gonna go off the topic for a second. National debt, the bonded debt of a corporation. Not where we going, but let's get back to it. Just let that go.
See, I could have got on there and you know what would have happened.
Right. So we see here it says, in a general sense, you know, that it is due from one person to another. Services or goods. It doesn't necessarily have to be money. So a debt is something that's owed or is due. You know what I'm saying? It's something that is due, meaning that it keeps coming to a point of you making a payment on it. So
I see what you're doing here. I know what you're doing.
You see where we're going?
I'm calling you out on it because I see what you're doing here. Because you're going to go into that next sentence, I have a feeling, where it says it may even mean a moral or honorary obligation unenforceable by legal action.
Right, so it may be, so a debt may be honorary. So upon your honor, you acting. Upon your honor, you are acting. So a debt is not necessarily money, where I got to give somebody money. So we've been taught that that's it. We all owe a debt to something. For instance, if we take into account, let's say we all have a mother and father, and do we feel as though we owe our mother and father anything?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What would we owe them? Anybody? Christian in the back?
Be careful, boy.
You got yours. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. Mama and daddy present. Well, mama present.
Right.
She gonna tell daddy anyway, so it's all gone. So what is it that we owe mom and dad?
I would say
No, go ahead.
I would say just appreciation of you know, them bringing you up to where you are now.
Right.
Gratitude.
Gratitude,
Honor.
honor. Yeah, honor. Anybody else on it? What do we owe? Go ahead, brother in the middle right here.
We owe them love and respect.
Love and respect.
Ooh.
Brother, don't hit it on the head.
Ooh.
We owe them love. We owe them love. You see? Why do we owe them love?
Because it was given.
Because it was given. Now, did you pay for it?
No.
You didn't pay for it. Somebody just gave it to you. So now we got what? A debt.
Yep.
We have a debt. A debt is not a bad thing. A debt is operation, and and the prophet is gonna show you how this thing works. And it's set up on purpose this way. And we're gonna be able to look into it and see it.
This mom and dad. This the one right before me. Is that all? Just the one right before me.
You're gonna see that it goes all the way back.
Oh,
You're
okay.
gonna see that it's go. You got something, Christy? So you're gonna see. So how do we then pay this debt? We're in agreement that we owe it. How do we pay it? Through action, the brother said over here.
Love and I mean, it's not like kids from here, so that's you gotta be very.
Oh, okay. So through love and continuing the lineage, he said you got to give them grandkids.
You gotta give the young brother said you gotta give them grandkids. So anybody else on how do we pay this debt back? Because we was given this without anything. We didn't refuse it. You know what? I'm not coming to life. I'm just gonna stay because you here. So you obviously accept it, or you wouldn't be here. You see? That's why people say to you, it's a choice. They always say that life is a choice. Being who you are is a choice. We chose to be born. We chose to continue on. All right?
So play it forward.
Play it forward.
Play it forward.
Play it.
You know, it came from historically, it came from those that come before us.
Right.
So we have a duty to then play that forward to those who are with us and those who come after us.
Right. So it's saying in our paper, when we read the definition, say it's an obligation. And the obligation can be honorary. And it's from person to person. It's from one person to another person. So it can be an honorary person-to-person move. So that's what we define it as a debt. Now, if we look at our Moore's literature book, that's this one here. If we look in this book here, and we look on page 10, sorry. Page 10. And this is dealing with what's called our general laws. Now this is dealing with our general laws and how they shape up. So we're gonna read through a little bit of it, and we're gonna try to get out what we need for what we're talking about. So and what we're establishing is this debt, and that the prophet established it for us clearly. And it says here, if we look at we'll just start at the beginning. General laws is number 5, as said by the prophet. Instructions of Tuesday night. You see what happened today, don't you? Every temple and head is to function by words, deeds, and actions, imitating the prophet, especially when teaching a group of Moors, any group of Moors. These are the general laws. The supreme laws will be handed you tomorrow night. Now, I'm going to stop right there to clear up a couple of things that most people get caught up in. The prophet said, you lead by deeds and actions, by words, deeds, and actions, imitating the prophet, especially when teaching a group of Moors. And he said, any group of Moors. Why did he say any group of Moors?
I would say the Moors that know they're Moors, and even those that don't.
That's part of it. Anybody else? Why did he say any group of Moors? Remember, this is a prophet. Right? Why is he saying any group of Moors? Because, I mean, he's the prophet and he brought Moors. So why is he saying any group of Moors? We on page 10, and it'll be on the number 5. And we down about page 10. So he's saying that especially when teaching a group of Moors, we have to have these words, deeds, and actions when teaching a group of Moors, any group of Moors. He made a difference between one group and another group. Go ahead.
So it'll be maybe like Moors that are lost.
It could be the moles that is lost. Go ahead.
I would say the Moors in and outside of the temple.
Right. So he's making a distinct note that there will be other Moors besides yourself. However, your conduct should not change. If their conduct is unbecoming, it's not like the prophet's conduct. That means that your conduct should remain as a Moor, like the conduct that the prophet has. So even though they may be a Moor, they may not present the conduct that the prophet is presenting. And your job is to present the conduct that the prophet is getting, not to change as according to what they're doing, or to not talk to them. Because he said, when you're speaking to them, so obviously we're supposed to be speaking with them. So he's telling us that that's supposed to be something we're supposed to do. And that's what these general laws are about. And we're gonna go on down. He said, so especially, let's say, the supreme laws will be handed you tomorrow night. The Supreme Council will be chosen tomorrow, consisting of 7 men, tried and true, accepted by you according to their words, works, and deeds. The head of all temples are to give an account once a month of all finances into the grand body and the grand sheik, grand sheikess, governor, and grand governor of any said temple are to work hand in hand and intercede that the prophet is the law. They are to know they are a part of the law and must obey. So this is what you choose when you come into the temple. You are a part of the law and must obey. So this is why he's saying that there's going to be other Moors that you still talk to with this same reverence to the prophet. Because there will be those that will not obey and will not accept the prophet as the law. There will be people in the temple with us that will not accept the prophet as the law. They'll do something else. So the prophet is saying that they are a part of the law. Now, when we go over to the next page, continuing on, it said the heads of all the temples are to by force refrain from all rash words, profanity in the mildest form from his members. They must live the life of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and refrain from all alcohol, liquors, or any other harmful thing that will terminate to destroy peace or any other of the divine principles. They are not to contribute to anything that will cause the public to disagree with he or she. And for one to lead a group of Moors, you must keep your house clean with good deeds, kind words. Your wives, brothers must hear good words, kind words, and must know of your good deeds. If there are children, you must see to their support. Follow this divine principle. For if you don't restrict to this divine principle, then you are not a true Moor. So the prophet is saying you are not a true Moor. Now, what divine principle is it that, what divine principle is it that he's saying that you don't follow, you're not a true Moor? What is that divine principle that he said? He said that, for if you don't restrict to this divine principle, then you are not a true Moor. What is that? What is that divine principle? Go back to page 10 and read the last sentence on page 10. Y'all see it? Where it says, right before the period, he says, and grand governors of any said temple are to work hand in hand and intercede that the prophet is the law. The prophet is the law. They are to know they are a part of the law and must obey. He said, you must know that you are a part of the law and must obey. Now, this is mandatory. This ain't no ifs, ands, and buts. It's mandatory. He said, if you don't follow this principle, then you're not a Moor. Now, how many times have you heard the prophet say somebody is not a Moor? So this is serious business. Islam. He's telling you that if you don't obey the law of the prophet, you can't be a Moor. Well, that's common sense. It seems like that would be common sense, right? But the prophet had to say it. that if I'm following another law, what if I follow the law of Christianity's law? Or what was wrong for Christianity to begin? You say, what if I follow what started other things?
Judaism and amalgamating.
Right, you don't start amalgamating. Islam. So the law is simple and must be obeyed by all the Moors, because the Moors that's not obeying it are the ones that's outside the temple. Now you can sit in here with us, but don't mean you in the temple. Because if you're not obeying the law, the prophet said that they're not Moors. He said they are not Moors.
Islam. What are they, Sheik? Talk to me.
They are, your wife just said they are amalgamations. They are an amalgamation, well put. But no, these are people that are on a path, these people are on a path to gaining themselves. Just like when you first heard this information and I first heard it, I didn't just say, okay, good, I'm in.
We know I didn't.
Yeah, we know. That sister was like this, upset. She couldn't find nothing wrong. Islam.
That's a good lesson. That means there's a lot of people that are not really born.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody is exempt.
Nobody is exempt. So we have to put in what the laws say. You know what I'm saying? Are we gonna be perfect? You know what I'm saying? No, we're not. And the prophet goes on to say that we won't be perfect, that we gonna make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Some mistakes may take people 5 years to correct. Some mistakes may take people 15 minutes. It depends on the blessings that Allah has given you, the gifts that He has given you to understand.
I was going to say that
Yeah.
wasn't a big gift. That
Right.
gift of understanding.
Gift of understanding.
Go hand in hand
You
with
know?
the gift of free will.
So we have to understand the prophet laws. Why? Understanding means supporting. We have to be supportive of the prophet's laws. That's what our job is. So when we're looking at the debt that we're looking at, I'm gonna read that the prophet has said here that it said, if there are children, you must see to their support. And the heads are not to charge for memberships or to overcharge for cards, buttons, or for anything issued by the prophet. Those who contribute to either of these proceedings are not Moors, but robbers. Membership, sisters and brothers, is free. Not only here, but all over the world. The button is 25 cents, card 25 cents, and 1 month dues is paid. Every member pays 50 cents a month for dues. This money goes towards the support of the temple. This is not paid. This, if not paid, does not entitle you to the protection that is provided for you. And especially if you are not working or in the position to work. If you neglect to fulfill this small duty, oh, little sister, you gonna read this?
Yes. She said, I got a whole lesson.
So, so the prophet is saying that we have to pay our dues, and he said how we supposed to pay them and what we're supposed to pay. So it's our duty to follow the law. As the prophet said, it is the law. So the law is pay your dues. If you don't pay your dues, you're not following the law. All true Moors follow the law, and they pay their dues. Am I saying these laws are not in contrast to the laws that we see downtown? Some of them go a little bit astray, and we have to stay on the laws that the prophet gave us, because we know those laws is tried and true. And the people that he picked is tried and true. So it's up to us to abide by that. Now we've had where the brother, the treasurer, he said people just ain't paying their dues. They just ain't paying their dues. So he shouldn't have to come looking for you to pay your due. You should look for him to pay him the due. Why? Because it's the law. The prophet made it the law. So it's up to each individual to follow the law. And it's not for the good of just the temple. It is, but it's even more innately ingrained in you for your own success in life. The protection that he's talking about, do you think he's just talking about this temple? Or do you think he might be referring to the fact that Allah be on your side? Anybody? You think that when he said when you pay your dues, you're entitled to this protection. Do you think he's talking about just the protection that the temple can give you, or the protection that the law provides for you also?
It's mine.
So,
Talking about both, actually.
talking about both. So you wants to be on the right side of this. So you know, this is what has to happen, right? So so does anybody have any questions about the dues or anything? No? Now those are the laws that's laid down by the prophet. And that's right there in our Moore's literature, page 10, right? In our Moore's literature, general laws, right? So we're gonna go to our Holy Quran and we're gonna expand this a little bit. We're gonna expand this just a little bit. We're gonna go to chapter 26. And we're gonna read the first verse, chapter 26. We've been hearing a lot about chapter 26 lately, ain't we? Somebody want to read the first line of 6? It's page 36, middle of the page.
The first line of 6.
Yeah, the first line of chapter 26. Go ahead, sister.
The gifts of the understanding are the treasures of Allah.
Okay, the first line is all we need. The gifts of the understanding. A gift is what? What is a gift? Huh? What is a gift? What happens if I give you a gift?
You show gratitude.
Yeah, I gave you something. What? Do you owe anything because I gave you a gift?
No.
Was the gift paid for? No, I gave it to you, so it's free. So what do you want to do? Do you want to charge everybody for everything, or do you want to give out gifts? Right. Each individual gonna continue giving the gift giving. So it says that the law started this. The gifts of understanding are the treasures of Allah. So if you receive understanding, if you receive support, it's a treasure from Allah. So your mama to you, your daddy to you was a treasure from Allah. They supported you when you couldn't support yourself. That's a treasure from Allah. The gifts of understanding, the gifts of support is a treasure from Allah. Do we need to break it down a little bit, or everybody good?
I like Webster's 1828 definition of it. I like how that was put. It says an offering or oblation, but then it goes further down to say power or some quality of endowment conferred by the author of our nature as the gift of wit, the gift of ridicule.
So all those things that are mindly things that we able to understand without having to be there to see, all those things are gifts. Them are gifts from Allah. The fact that, like I say, when you get something that's going to support you, understanding, stand under, hold it up, that's supporting it. Something that's supporting you is a treasure that supports you. When you come in here in the temple, supports you and feeds you with the information and stuff that you need and assistance that you require in times of strife or in times of growth. All of these are treasures from Allah. Okay? So that's what we're looking at. Now this is a gift. This is a gift. We didn't pay anything for this, Islam. And now we're gonna go on to chapter 37. Right from 20, we're going to 37.
Okay, 37.
Yeah, 37. It's on page 44. And this is the breath of heaven. The holy instructions from the prophet, the breath of heaven. And we're going to read 11. We'll read number 11. Who has that? Anybody?
Who planted terror in the trail of the spirit, behind the serpent?
Wait a minute, hold on, where you at?
Page 45.
Page 45, right, number 11.
Prophets at 44.
So number 11.
Thine hand.
Oh,
Thine hand, is it not a miracle? Is there in the creation aught like unto it? Wherefore was it given thee, but that thou mightest stretch it out to the assistance of thy brother?
So he said you was given a wonder. Your hand is a wonder. In its own right, your hand is a wonder. And why was it given to you? Why was his hand given to you? What did it say? Why did it give you? Right, the brother said to stretch it out to your brother. Why would he give you such a marvelous thing if it was not to stretch it out to your brother?
Right.
But he said one thing that we tend to go right past. He said, why was it what?
What, the next line on 12?
No, on the one you just read. He said that it was, he said, wherefore was it?
Oh, wherefore was it given thee?
That's what he asking you. So it's telling you then that your hand was what? Given to you.
Mm-hmm.
See? So that he's telling you again that these things are given to you. Mm-hmm. Why would I give this to you if not to stretch it out to your brother? You see? So you've been given this. So this implies that if I'm giving something, there has to be some debt. I keep getting given, I got to give some somewhere. Mm-hmm. So there's a debt entangled in our very existence, from the beginning all the way to the end. So now if we keep going through this Quran, we're going to keep coming up with this where he's saying that Allah has given us these things and the prophet has given us these things, and we didn't pay for it. We're being redeemed. So he keep telling us these things. So how are we going to repay? How are we going to pay this debt that we owe? How are we going to do it? And it said, if we go to chapter 39, that's just a page ahead. I'm sorry. Just go to the same one and go to number 15. We're still in chapter 37. We're going to go to 15. Go ahead, sister.
Thou men alone can't speak. Wonder at thy glorious prerogative and pay to him who gave it to thee a rationale and welcome praise, teaching thy children wisdom, instructing the offspring of thy loins in piety. I'm sorry.
Right. So now go back up in the second line where you said prerogative, and he said what now after that?
And pay to him who gave it to thee a rationale.
There it is. Pay. Pay.
Mm-hmm.
He said, pay to him that gave you the ability to be rational. Pay to him that gave you the ability to be able to think. Pay to him that gave you a hand to stick out to a brother. Pay him what? Pay what? What are you going to pay?
By teaching thy children wisdom, instructing the offspring, and thy loins in piety.
Islam. So you're going to keep giving it out forward. You're going to keep on making sure that you're giving just like it was given to you, that you're giving it out. Because you can't give nobody a hand. You can't give nobody the ability for their intellect and circumstances to bring their intellect to the point that yours is at now. Islam?
Islam.
So that says right there clearly pay. So if we had any doubt about the debt, then maybe it was just made up. No, it wasn't. It's in our Quran telling us that people paying it. And this is how you move forward. And then it says now in chapter 39, we got chapter 39. We're going to flip to that right quick. And then we're gonna go to 24. And it's the last sentence in number 24. Page 48.
Know that it's not abundance which maketh rich, but economy.
Okay.
Say that again, Mo.
Know that it is not abundance which maketh rich, but economy.
Yes, so last week we talked about economy. What did we conclude about economy? The people are the economy. And then, so when we look at our people, we look at what we do to make our household run better. Because that's what an economy is, it's domestic. An economy is something that's domestic. So when I look at my people, I say, here's a domestic thing. How do I make it run better? You know, do we need to go out and get spend a whole lot of money on better suntan lotion? No, we wouldn't need that. So it wouldn't be good in my economy to spend a lot of the money that we got on suntan lotion. Islam? It wouldn't make sense. But if we were in our economy, we would want to spend a little more money on something such as high blood pressure and high tension, right? Why? Because if you look like me, you're probably under stress. You're probably under stress. They tell you it's what you're eating, and I agree. It's got something to do with pork and all that other stuff. But just on the real, the conditions that we have to be under creates a lot of stress that we just learn to live with. You know, and there's a class that we did on that. And we probably need to go back and do it now because we got a lot more new people. We probably will. What that's really called. And, you know, people don't do studies on everything. We'll get to that. But so the economy is domestic, and it meant for those people. So the prophet is telling us in here that abundance it said, know that it is not abundance which makes rich. It is the economy. It's the people. The domestic people that's around you and circulating through them. That's what makes you rich. So if you have a person and he in our secular society and he got $100 million and he in there with the colonizers, he in there with the colonizers, is he somebody with his $100 million?
No.
No. He just that. Now, as soon as he come to his people and make 100 million, and he feeding his people, and he showing his people how to move through these monies, and everybody's benefiting, he all that. Mm-hmm. He can't get no greater accolades than from your own people. What good if you in Africa and people over there in Britain telling you that you're a great man, and all your people starving, but they telling you, what good is that accolade? Mm-hmm. You need the accolades from those that respect you. Those that came from your lineage. Islam? So the true economy is the people. And how you move through those people is domestic. It's domestic. It's not foreign. It's domestic. That's what the economy is. So now, do anybody have any questions about the is that at all? Because you see, your debt was made purposely. It was created purposely. You was given these things purposely, so you can pay them as you go. So the economy would move. If you don't pay, the economy won't move. If you don't assist that brother, if you don't stick your hand out to help that brother, the economy won't move. It's gonna stop. So what you have now in our society is a economy that has stopped. Our domestic economy as Moors has stopped because we stopped reaching out to each brother. When we don't do that, when we don't reach out, the economy is stopped. It's stalled because you was given something so you can go give it away. And if you don't give it away, you freeze the whole economy up. So no brother is helping another brother, is not helping another brother. So we have no economy. As soon as you start helping the next brother, supporting the next brother, working with the next brother, whether he's in the temple or not, the economy will start moving. And you will be successful. Then you become rich. You see? So he said it's not the people that you see now in the European society, they're rich because of the economy. Their people are going around each other, giving and moving that economy of those people. And it's working. Our economy is not moving. It's nobody's fault but our own. So it's up to us to extend our hand out and give the gift away and continue to give it away. And the more that we give it away, then the better off we're gonna be. The bigger our economy will get, the faster we'll move. Islam? Any questions on economy? Any questions on economy? So we see, so that goes all the way back to us paying our dues. Why did the prophet do that? Because it's an economy. When you do that and you trust it and you try it and you true and you faithful and you always doing it, that's our economy. I know that you coming to do it. So I can't wait to help you out. That brother always did. Let me help him. But when you come and say, hey, I got an idea. We need to get $1,000 together to do it. But we can make, guess what? I'm gonna say this brother don't never pay his dues. I'm gonna be scared to give him my $1,000. You know, it's gonna be scary. But he always paying his dues, he always on time, and other Moses with him always on time, and they saying, yeah, man, I believe that, because I'm not giving you $1,000 unless I ask a brother about you. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna ask a couple brothers what's going on. I know what I see, but it's proven for me to ask a couple other brothers, you know, what's going on. And you know who the closest person to somebody you ask when they all Moors? Ask their brother or their sister. That's their brother, their sister, what's going on, because they gonna be the ones that's close enough to tell it, you know. And if they Moors, they gonna tell it. Islam. So that's why he said you have to be at home. The prophet in our Moors literature said you're supposed to say kind words and nice things to your brothers and your sisters and your kids and your wives. That's why you're supposed to do that. This is an economy. So those kind words come back out. When somebody asks about you, that's the economy. That moves our economy. That opens up my bank to you. Islam? So now we got a little bit of time to roll in, but I really want to try to nail down the debt. And what the debt is our honor, is honor. We have an honorary debt to our mothers and fathers, our honorary debt to the prophet, honorary debt to Allah, the great God. We have a debt that we need to continue to function. We can't pay. How you gonna pay Allah back for what you got? You can't do it. You're not qualified. So how you gonna pay it back? You gotta follow the rules. You gotta follow what the prophet told you, and then you can be grateful. You know what I'm saying? Then you'll be among the ones that's faithful. All you got to do is follow those things, and you'll be successful. And we'll be successful, and we'll have an economy. You know, he said, "Let love be your economy." The young brother said it earlier. Now, so if anybody online watching it, you must pay your dues. You know, if you're in the temple, you must give. If you're not in the temple, you have to continue to stick that hand out there, because our economy will not move without it. Islam. So we're gonna move on to chapter 30. We're moving on, but we're kind of not moving on at the same time. Chapter 30 is on page 39, towards the bottom of the page. We're at the bottom of the page, 30. He's saying, holy instructions from the prophet, the social duties. It says, when thou considerest thy wants, when thou beholdest thy imperfections, acknowledge his goodness, O son of humanity, who honored thee with humanity, endowed thee with speech, and placed thee in society to receive, confer reciprocal helps and mutual obligations, protection from injuries, thy enjoyment of the comforts and the pleasures of life. All these thou owest to the assistance of others. Islam. He said, all these thou owest to the assistance of others. So he's saying the things that you get, the protection of being in society, right? If you're around, if you're out in the wilderness, do you want to be by yourself or you want to be 20, 30 deep?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we can put it in, let's put it in an urban setting. If you put it in the yeah, so if you put that same subject into a put it into a urban setting, you know, you in the hood and you got to go in the bad part of town, or you know some brothers might be a little rowdy at. You want to go by yourself or you want to go 50 deep? You want to go deep as possible to deter any kind of actions. You know, even the police practice the same model. When they stop a car, 2 or 3 immediately come by to check. Why? Because the safety in numbers. So Allah is saying to us that these things is built into us. These things is built into us by society. You know what I'm saying? But these things are built into us in our nature, that we want to be around people. And Allah set this thing up for us in this manner. And he said that, son of humanity, who honored thee with humanity, endowed thee with speech. So who is giving you just the ability to speak? Gorillas can't speak. They can't articulate like we articulate. They communicate, but they can't articulate. And place thee in society to receive and confer reciprocal. So he's saying that we in society, as a benefit to society, and as a satisfaction of receiving things from society. It's reciprocal. It's not just one way. So if you somebody that's constantly taking, you in error. It's supposed to be reciprocal. He said he put you in there for reciprocal means and helps in mutual obligations and protect from injuries, thy enjoyment of thy comforts and thy pleasures of life. All these thou owest to the assistance of others. He said that all these you owe to the assistance of others. So if you had, would you have a desire to have $1 million if you was on an island by yourself? So even your desires for anything other than food and water is in part due to the society in which you're in. If the society value dollars, then you want more dollars to do the things you want to do. If the society values pesos, then you want pesos. You know, back when the prophet was around and you had the dollar, did you know that the dollar was still tradable for a silver?
Silver certificate.
Right, you could get the silver certificate. You had that certificate that was backed by actual silver or actual gold, and it had a silver lining around the little circle in the middle, or gold lining to let you know which one that was, which one that was backed by. Islam. So all of these things are reciprocal. I'm giving and I'm getting. So that's the economy that we must have. So our social duty is that economy. That's our social duty. When they say national debt, that's our national debt. It ain't no money. Our national debt is reciprocal. I'm giving to you, you giving back to me. Let's say you don't give to me directly. It go to him, to him, to him, and then next thing you know, he's old enough to be helping me in my old age build a shed out back. You see? So it's reciprocal. We have to get these things. So and this could not enjoy, but in the bands of society. He's saying that we could not enjoy all these things, but by the bands of society. If we were not in the bands of society, we would not be able to enjoy all these comforts that we now enjoy. You know, somebody may not want to come over and cook you dinner, But some people like cooking. They love it. And they say, well, you come over and cook. You say, yeah, but man, I'll give you $10, but you got to give me nothing. Well, I'll give it to you anyway. That's reciprocal. That person loves to cook and you want to eat. So I'm giving him something that he values, and I'm getting something that I value. So it's reciprocal. So we all receiving the reciprocal part of that. Islam. Now we're gonna go on to number 2. It says, it is thy duty, therefore, to be a friend to mankind. So it said it's a duty. Did it say it's an option? Duty. He's saying that it's a duty. And we understood a duty to mean that is something that is by law, what the prophet has mandated for you to do. So that's what a duty is. So he said it is a duty to be a friend to mankind, as it is in thy interest that man should be friendly to thee. So it's in my best interest. It's in my best interest that man is friendly to me. So it is my duty to be friendly to me. That's my duty, because it's already in my best interest. Because I want something from you, I want to give something back. Now the person that don't want to give anything back is not following his duty. And what we end up with is, and you see in the Moorish population of people, what we're seeing, the ones that's not aware of who they are, we're seeing that has stalled the economy. The people have stalled because they don't have a reciprocal gift to give. They're not reciprocating the gift that I'm giving you. I'm giving it to you. You got to give it to him. He got to give it to her. She got to give it to the child. The child give it to the next child. Islam, and it keeps going on. That's our economy. It doesn't have to do with anything. Economy, again, is what? Domestic. It's domestic. Economy, we're not talking about a global economy. What are we going to do with a global economy? We have to have a domestic economy. We're not talking about a European economy. We're talking about a domestic economy that our prophet said is the people and the gifts that we give each other. That's our economy. Islam. And if we continue that, he said, that then is what's going to be the richest. Not the piling of abundant dollars. It's not riches. Islam. And it says, as the rose breatheth sweetness from its own nature, so does the heart of a benevolent man produce good works. So he said, just like a rose, you can smell it because it's a rose. It can't say, I'm not going to smell like a rose. You see what I'm saying? It can't say that. A rose is going to smell like a rose. And he said, just as that rose has to smell like a rose, a benevolent man, a man that is in a state of being good and see good in other men constantly, that he don't have to see the man and know the man is good, that's benevolent. So he's saying that man has no other choice but to produce good works. A benevolent man must produce good works. That's it. Just like a flower must smell like a flower. It can't smell like a dog. You see, those things don't fit. So if you are a benevolent man, you will do good works. Now, are you doing good works? If you can't answer that, then you know you ain't benevolent. Are you trying to do good works? I'm trying to be a benevolent man. You have to say these things to yourself. You have to say that you got to look at yourself and say, I'm trying to be a benevolent man. I'm trying to do good works to men, for men, about men. I'm trying to do these things. Islam, we have to say that. If we don't say it, then we ain't gonna do it. We don't hear it, we ain't gonna know it. So I'm not getting on nobody. I'm just saying these are the things that makes us function. This is what Allah provided for us. And he said he enjoys the ease of tranquility of his own breast and rejoices in the happiness and prosperity of his neighbor. How many times have you seen somebody, a dude riding down the street, he got his 26s on, and he smiling and looking good. You know, and I'm not about to buy 26s, but I'm happy for him because he looked so happy with that. You know, so that's what I mean. You know, he looked like he happy with it. I seen a brother today. It's about about 9:30, about close to 10, and he coming out the car wash part down here on Airport, and he pulling out to the street, looking good, baby. He got an old school on 26s, got his coat on, he crispy. He got a plan. No, he was in a Chevy, about 86. He was looking good. Copper color, he was looking good. I feel good for us. And that brother ready to go. He ready to go look good wherever he going. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. Benevolence. You got to be happy for people when they're doing what they're doing. And we got to be careful to not try to impose upon somebody your own happiness. I often tell the story about this lady had about 4 or 5 kids, and they was in the house without a refrigerator. And some other people seen that she didn't have a refrigerator. So they got together, they bought the best refrigerator money could buy. That refrigerator had everything going on, everything but a TV on. It was nice. So about a month or 2 went by, and she said, it went by there, the refrigerator, go, what happened to the refrigerator? Oh, we sold it. Why you sell it? Oh, so we all can go out of town. We had a great time out of town. See, so you need a refrigerator. That don't mean everybody else needs one. That's your happiness. So you can't impose your happiness on somebody else. Should have asked that woman, do you want a refrigerator? And she would have simply said no. But you come with a refrigerator as a gift, that's kind of rude to say, no, I don't want it. Knowing what they had to go through to get it. And they happy and they smiling. See, you got to say, so she didn't want to let them down. So she was happy for them, that they was happy. They done some good, right? But we have to realize that that's our happiness, you know. So we want to be happy for people, but we want to be careful. He said, he opens not his ear unto slander. The faults of the failings of men give a pain to his heart. So he said he opens not his ear unto slander. Somebody ever been trying to tell you about somebody and you don't want to be rude, but they keep on trying to tell you something and you trying to not listen, and then you just have to break down. Look, man, I don't want to hear all that negativity, man. That's going to bring me down. That's why I don't watch the news. I just read what I'm going to read. The visual of the reading is bad enough. The visual effects is traumatizing. I don't want to see all that, especially early in the morning. So don't come telling me all that stuff. If you got a point to make the point. You know, yeah, when the brother was having some hard times, he done some bad things. Okay, get to it. That brother done a lot of bad things. We got to be careful around him. Islam, let's keep moving. You know, you want to tell the gory details. I take your word as bad, Islam. You know, because it's saddening. It's saddening. It's rough on us to be, because it desensitizes us to the real pains that we should be feeling when we constantly listen to people like that. And then we get to the person, and 9 times out of 10, the person ain't even half as bad as the person don't put him on to be. And we don't know why he behaved the way that he behaved. You know, Islam? He said, his desires is to do good, and he researches out the occasions thereof. So, you all right, little sister? There you go. So he said he desires to do good, and he researches out occasions thereof. So some people say, I can't do no good. He said he searches out occasions to do good. This man looking for good. You see, who is the man we talking about? You. You the man. When you consider the wants, it said at the beginning, when you consider the wants, we talking about you. So you have to look for good to be done. You have to look to find where you can do the good at. And when you look in our community, how much good do you think you can do? Come on.
Plenty of opportunities.
Huh?
So plenty of opportunities.
Plenty of opportunities to do good. And just a kind word. You can't even get away with not saying you can't go out here and at least give a kind word. Because the kind word is needed drastically. The kind word is needed more than the dollar is needed. He said, in removing the oppression of another, he relieves himself. So when you see somebody with a problem and you try to help, It relieves your own self. It should make you feel better that you've done that. And most people, I know it does. You know, I couldn't understand this one brother all the time. He would give his last, he said, man, I just had to give my last $2 up, man. That don't, I tell you, boy, these people out here, they something else. Get on my nerves, you know what I'm saying? What you say you need, sister? I got a couple dollars on it. Woo, man, I just had to get my last $5 out. Did you see that? Man, I can't get, that brother would complain all the time. Give you the last thing he got. Shirt on his back. Never did understand it. Never could understand it. If you ask him for something, he gonna give it. You call him in the middle of the night, well, man, I'm stranded. I'm on my way, brother. I'm on my way. I just gotta get up. Get my shoes on. You know, you'd be like, man, was you sleeping? No, I ain't sleeping. You know he was sleeping. He gonna get up and come. Good brother, but he would always just complain about it. You know what I'm saying? I just got used to it. Hey, when I call him now, I say, bro, look, we got some problems. We got to get some stuff done. Oh man, well, what you need, man? What you need? I got to get something. I got to get something. he gonna do his part. He got to do it. He said, from the largeness of his mind, he comprehended in his wishes the happiness of all men, and from the generosity of his heart, he endeavors to promote it. So, as a brother, we have to think in our mind the wellness of all men. We have to see, we can't go if this brother is doing bad. We don't need to help him because he's European. That's not gonna work. We have to, in our mind, we have to think the wellness of all men. Why? Because if all of my people get better and all Europeans get worse, then all I'm gonna have is the opposite of what I got now. Honor is still not gonna be running rampant on the earth. We're gonna have dishonor, and people gonna be retaliating. We don't want that. We want them to become honorable under their own fig and vine tree. And we want to become honorable under ours. So we want to wish them well. We don't want to wish them harm. We don't want to go out and say, I hope something happened to them, all of them. We don't want to do that. Why? Because we're killing our own self. We want to wish all men well. You know what I'm saying? And he said, from the generosity of the heart, we endeavor to promote it. So now, from the heart, from our mind, how do we promote this love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice? Islam. How do we promote this love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice? We have a mind, don't we? And it's capable of great things, isn't it? So how do we promote this thing? We do with our actions, our words, and our deeds. Islam. Our actions, our words, and our deeds is how we promote this. You know, so if we get out here and give away what we got, give away what was given to us, so that our economy can move, then we've done a good thing. But it's up to us. All of this support, what we started off with, is that you were given a gift. All of this supports that. That all of this was put in place that you help these people because that is the way that Allah set it up so the economy will move. He didn't set up the economy of money. Men set up the economy of money. These things are innate inside of us. We receive benefit from other men and women. We want to come together. If you're bleeding, you want somebody to help you. If you're hungry, you want somebody to feed you. You can't feed yourself. Islam? Right. So those things are innate in us. There's somebody that'll come along out of nowhere. You hungry, let me feed you. You know what I'm saying? So, like the little brother right there, he said he hungry. He needs somebody to feed him. It's not. And so do we have any questions on our social duties? Because we don't ran our distance. Islam? Any other questions or anything? Okay. We want to thank everybody for coming out, and we do appreciate it that everybody does come out and we get the kids out, because it's important that our kids hear this same information that we hear and that we be able to tell it to them. So if there's any questions after we close out, we'll remain around for a little while so that everybody can ask questions that need any answers to. Islam?
Islam.
Okay, we're done.
Pray.